Hey everybody, Papa Dennis here again. Yeah, it's been a long time. Renovating a house, moving in, a lot of work. And the house is 98% finished. Of course, a house is never 100% finished. I think you know how that goes. Anyhow, let's do some more rock covers today. My band recently, I play in a six-piece party/dance band, and we do a wide range of material. A tune that we added to our repertoire recently is Bruno Mars' 24K Magic. And here it is. I'm going to hit performance home. The first challenge was the intro. Turns out we really couldn't duplicate that intro very well, so I ended up sampling it, and I've got it playing down here all the way in G0. You can't see it, but when I hit G0, yeah, it plays the entire intro, and the female vocalist in our band, she sings along with it. And then at the end of the intro, I've got it so it fades, and the drummer comes in with the 4 count, and then the tune starts, or I should say the first verse starts. Right. I want to show you one quick thing about when you load a sample into the MODX. It's going to, by default, put the trigger note at middle C here, which is on the MODX, it's C3, okay? And I didn't want it there, though. I tend to put all sound effects and sampled things at the far left end of the keyboard, okay? So, but there's a problem with that. I'm going to show you something. It's a peculiarity, I guess you'd call it, on the MODX. So part 5 is the intro, and as I said, when you load it in, the sample from the WAV file, it's going to trigger middle C. And then you say, to move it down the keyboard, yeah, you can go into pitch here and shift it up, right? Because if you want to play it lower on the keyboard, you obviously have to have a higher pitch so it sounds the same. But there's a limit with this of only 2 octaves. Right, 24 semitones. So, what to do? What to do? Well, here's the answer. Maybe it's a little trick. If you go into the element, and you can see that this part, element 1, uses the waveform 24K Magic Intro dot wave, right? But you can go right here, coarse, and this guy doesn't have limits. So that 24 semitone limit, you don't have it here. You can crank this guy way up and down. And to get him down here, right, 29 is the exact count. If you count down from this middle C down to G0, or C3 down to G0, it's 29 semitones. So you raise it by 29 semitones, and you can play it down there. If I wanted to, I could play it all the way at E0, but I already had a siren effect on E0, and I didn't. So plus I had the. I sampled that part of the song on F0 and F#0. So G0 was open, and that's where I put the intro. Okay, now the sounds. There's a lot going on in the song, as in most of Bruno's songs. But what I do is... Yeah, so I did this fat sound here, and what is it? Well, let's look at it. It's parts 1 and 4, and part 1 is a performance called Bright Dance, which sounds like this, right? And part 4 is just that little filtered, it's called Percussive Dance 2, right? So And that little part up high, I did something called Detune Vintage, which is that. And then this guy is very similar. What is he? Let's look him up. I hit edit. Oh yeah, that's just a sawtooth performance. One of the saws, yeah. And that's pretty much it for the tune. Yeah, as I said, there's a middle part where this, and you hear that's kind of tinny sounding. What I did was on my computer, I gave it a heavy cut in the low bass region because I didn't want that to compete with the bass in the band. So I just gave it a heavy EQ cut down in the bass region. And in the context when the band's playing, it doesn't sound thin because you've got the bass and the drums playing and the guitar, and it cuts through okay, and it doesn't compete with the bass player. That's 24K Magic. And another song that my band recently added to the repertoire is the song, let's get out of here, Moves Like Jagger by Maroon 5, that is. And I've got it selected here. Let's go to Performance Home. And the keyboard player has to do the whistle part, which that comes in during the intro, and then it recurs throughout the song. There's just a performance called whistle, right? That's obvious. When you play the whistle, though, to make it sound a little, I guess you might say more realistic, to make it sound a little more realistic, you need to use the pitch bend wheel, which I'm operating over on the far left. You can't see it, but for example, when I hit that B on top, I just bend down to go from the B to the A instead of going. And here, instead of just hitting that F sharp, I hit an E and bend up, pitch bend up. So yeah, so using the pitch bend wheel makes it sound a little more realistic. And then the only other sounds in this song, there's not a lot of keys going on in it really, so I just play. And the whole tune is just B minor 7 to an E minor 7. That's about it. And I've got there's a place in the song where there's a little bit of a sound effect. Yeah, I've got this whoosh sound all the way down at E0. And that was just a sample that I created on my computer and downloaded it into the MODX. Okay, that's Moves Like Jagger, Maroon 5. And my band recently added to the repertoire 2 Kool and the Gang songs, Ladies Night and Get Down on It. And we do them as a medley or a mashup, starting with Ladies Night. And that's just basically a 2-chord song. There's a little bridge section that we don't do because we transition over to Get Down on it. But it's just Kool and the Gang, they do it in C sharp minor to F sharp 7 or F sharp 9. We do it a half tone down, C minor. So let's look at it. That's just a basic Fender Rhodes, right? I've got a crunchy comp layered with a performance called 80s Boosted, right? Okay. And then there's this little flanged part And that keeps going on for most of the song. And that's this part 3 here, and it's a performance called Electric Piano. Electric Phaser. Well, it's not a flange, it's a phased sound, okay? And electric ends with a K. If you look at that guy, let's look at him, edit, and go to effects and the common for that part, right? Part 3 common. Yeah, there's VCM phaser mono. That's the phaser. Turn that off and the phaser effect goes away. So that's pretty much it for Ladies' Night. Oh, I've got some horns. Those I've got up high, going from A sharp 4 to the end of the keyboard. And it's just a bright section and a power section. Horn sounds. Okay, Ladies' Night, when we do the break, let's go back to the live set area. At the end of Ladies' Night, we do that. And then there's really a guitar part that I do on the keyboard because the guitar player in the band is doing a little rhythm fill. So I had to do that little guitar melody down here. Little pitch bend at the end there. So let's go to Performance Home. That's this guy right here. It's a performance called Some Hair. Some Hair. So it's guitar sound that's got a little bit of grit and fuzz to it, I guess. That's that. And then the chords of the song go. So it's an E minor 7, right? There's the E. I kind of play a G major triad to a B minor 7, A minor 7, A minor, B minor, E minor 7, B minor 7, and then a chord we've talked about in previous videos. You can call it a D11. You can call it a C over D. That's pretty much the whole tune also. And again, horns I have on the far right. You can't see my hand, but I'm all the way to the right end of the keyboard. And again, it's a bright section and a shiny brass. And that's pretty much it. Okay, that's got two Kool and the Gang tunes, Get Down on It and Ladies' Night.